So when you think of Frankenstein, what comes to mind? Probably a big, green-skinned guy with bolts in his neck, right? Well, today we're going to peel back all that Hollywood myth, because Mary Shelley's original novel is something so much deeper and honestly way more tragic. Let's get into the dark, cautionary tale at the absolute heart of this story.
You see, the story doesn't start in some castle lab with lightning crashing. No, it kicks off on a ship, trapped in the middle of the Arctic ice, with this really chilling warning. It comes from a man who's just been pulled from the freezing water, a guy who is at the absolute end of his rope, chasing something, well, something monstrous, across that frozen wasteland.
And that man? That's Victor Frankenstein. And the person he's talking to is Robert Walton, an ambitious sea captain who's pretty hungry for his own taste of glory. Victor's entire story, the whole book, is basically a confession. It's his desperate attempt to warn this other guy, Walton, away from the exact same path of reckless ambition that completely destroyed his life.
So picture this, Walton's crew, they're stuck in the ice, and they first spot this gigantic figure speeding away. Then, just a day later, they find Victor Frankenstein, half dead, chasing after it. And when Victor finds out that Walton is also on this big quest for knowledge and glory, he sees a reflection of himself. He recognizes a kindred spirit who might be headed for the same doom, so he offers up his own story as this desperate moral lesson.
Now, Victor's story doesn't start with a mad scientist's cackle or anything like that. It begins, pretty ironically, with a perfectly happy childhood. I mean, this kid was adored by his parents, he cherished his adopted sister Elizabeth, and he had a super loyal best friend, Henry Clerval. He had literally every advantage you could ask for. But even then, something about him was different.
And this contrast right here, this gets to the absolute core of Victor's character. While everyone he loved was admiring the world's beauty and thinking about morality, Victor saw the world as a secret he had to crack. He didn't want to just appreciate nature, he wanted to tear it apart, to figure out its hidden laws, and ultimately, to conquer it.
As a kid, he was totally captivated by these old, grand, impossible promises from alchemists who were trying to find the elixir of life. Then one day, he sees a lightning bolt just completely obliterate an oak tree, and he becomes obsessed with that raw power of nature. And it's this thirst for forbidden knowledge that eventually leads him to the University of Ingolstadt, the place where his ambition is going to curdle into an absolute catastrophe. So, at university, all those vague ambitions he had, they get a terrifyingly sharp focus. After one of his professors, a guy named M. Waldman, gives a lecture on the power of modern chemistry, Victor sees a path to becoming a god. He realizes that science could give him the power not just to understand life, but to actually create it.
And this is the exact moment his ambition just flat out becomes an obsession. He vows to go further than any scientist had ever gone before him. He locks himself away from his family, his friends, from the entire world, and dedicates his whole being to one single monstrous goal.
You know, this isn't just an academic project anymore. It's a frantic, feverish hunt. The way Victor describes it, it's like he's pursuing nature as if it's a living thing that he has to capture and violate just to steal its secrets. It's pretty intense.
Right. So where does he get his materials? He starts scavenging in the most repulsive places you can possibly imagine. We're talking graveyards, charnel houses, slaughterhouses. The line between a brilliant scientist and a grave-robbing ghoul just completely vanishes.
For almost 2 years, he's just toiling away in what he himself calls his workshop of filthy creation. He's not sleeping, he's not eating, his health is failing, he's neglecting his family, his own humanity, just driven forward by this, as he puts it, resistless and almost frantic impulse.
And here's a detail that's just chillingly practical. There's a reason the creature is so huge. To make all the intricate work of putting it together easier, Victor decides to build it on a gigantic scale, about 8 feet tall. And this simple, practical choice, it's going to have horrific consequences, because it ensures the creature can never, ever blend in.
Okay, so after all the obsession, all the grave robbing, the ceaseless labor, on a dreary November night, the moment finally arrives. Victor prepares to infuse a spark of life into the thing that's lying there on his table.
And just like that, in an instant, Victor's dream becomes a living nightmare. He had so meticulously chosen what he thought were beautiful features, but once they're animated, the combination is just grotesque. The watery eyes, the shriveled skin, the straight black lips, it's a horrifying mockery of a human being.
And this
This right here is Victor's great sin. All those years of ambition, his godlike quest, it all comes down to this one moment of pure terror and revulsion. He doesn't try to help it, or teach it, or even destroy it. He just runs away. He abandons his creation, his child, the very second it takes its first breath.
So what does our brilliant creator do? He completely shuts down, collapsing into a brain fever that lasts for months. He just tries to forget, to pretend it never even happened. And by the time he finally recovers, the creature has vanished into the world, all alone and without a name. Victor's private, secret act is about to have very public and very bloody consequences.
So after a couple of years of trying to forget all about it, Victor finally recovers his health, and he's getting ready to go home to Geneva. But on the very eve of his departure, a letter arrives from his father, and it's carrying the worst news imaginable.
His youngest brother, William, the family's absolute darling, this sweet, innocent kid, has been murdered. He was found strangled in a field, and a precious miniature portrait of their mother had been stolen from his neck. The family is just completely shattered by grief.
As Victor is racing home, this terrible storm breaks out over the mountains near Geneva. I mean, we're talking a storm of epic proportions, and it's happening right near the exact spot where his brother's body was found.
And in the middle of this tempest, a flash of lightning lights up something that just shouldn't be there. A figure moving with this supernatural speed up the side of a mountain.
In that one horrifying moment, Victor knows, he understands. The monster he created, the one he abandoned, isn't just real. It's a murderer. The filthy Daemon has come back, and it has brought death right to his own family, and it's all his fault.
But what does he do? Terrified that no one would ever believe his insane story and just horrified of the truth, Victor decides to stay silent. It's a choice born of pure cowardice, a choice that's going to condemn an innocent person for this crime and set in motion a devastating cycle of revenge between creator and creation. And it leaves us with the central question of the whole novel. Is the monster the ugly thing made of corpse parts, or is it the beautiful man who abandoned